coming up. Something I thought was obvious, that women are more jealous of their men's friends, female friends, than the other way around. New study says that right here on Depraved and Debaucherous. Thanks for being with me. King of Podcasts here with you. Let's go and talk about this story. It's coming from a side post, which I really love this site because it does give me so much to talk about. Now, we're going to bring up the stories, of course, but I want to make sure to make the point that I have other things to say besides what's going to be said here. But in the story itself, they're saying that in the journal Evolutionary Behavioral Sciences, they investigated romantic jealousy in the context of extramarital friendships of the opposite sex. And the results show that, contrary to previous findings, women tend to be more jealous than men of their partner's opposite sex platonic friend and are more concerned with sexual infidelity than emotional infidelity. Listen, you can just look at TikTok and Instagram videos all the time that make fun of this. But the truth is this reality. When women want to feel like they need to be possessive, when they hold on to a guy that is supporting them, and even if it's might not be supporting, it's just a matter of that a woman does not want to be put down or feel like she's being, she's being taken the wrong way. There's a thing where, what's the best word to say? She doesn't want to feel like she's being betrayed, and she doesn't want to feel like that somebody's getting one up on her. Now, there are probably cases where women are going to be jealous because they're going to feel that natural hormonal effect to go ahead and be defensive and to be wary of other people around her man. So that could be very much the thing. But the fact that we're going to get this kind of jealousy that's going on, if you're going to be this kind of jealous, where to the point where you're going to go ahead and have this guy. Now, look, there's a thing that's really coming into play about friend zones. And I remember I had a girl that I talked to that was a passenger when I was driving it for Uber, talking about the fact that, as a bartender, that she had no problem having various friends, guy friends, to hang out with. And they were absolutely platonic. And, I did ask the question, doesn't that make, first of all, there's always the thought about, so you don't think they're very interested in you. But I'm always going to assume that anyway. And you know what? The woman's going to feel the same way. So why not feel that way? And why not consider the fact that maybe she's not wrong? But when you're in a relationship, I think the only way you can handle that is if you're able to go ahead and include somehow, or the only way that you could have another woman be a part as platonic with her friend is if the girl has a friend to go along to double date. I think that's the only way you can resolve it. But otherwise, this here, if you have friends, I know on the other side that if a girl is hooking up with has a new boyfriend, that she's not going to spend more time. She's not going to spend time with me anymore. I can't tell you how many times where there was a girl I was interested in that I was chasing. As soon as the boyfriend came in, I was out. No more communication. So platonic friendships, in the story, they talk about that. It's the context of potential rival mates. And it doesn't even matter if the guy is attracted to the other girl or if it's a girl that he might know from work, which is, I thought that was always a pretty common, natural, rational thing that we already knew. But this study needed to go ahead and discuss this. So women tend to be more jealous or upset about emotional fidelity as that woman's access to resources for her and her children are threatened to be allocated to another woman he can invest in. Now, they're talking about marriages. And they're talking about relationships where there is a woman with her kids, whether they had kids together or from a previous relationship. So it is the protection. It is a possessive kind of thing too. And that's part of the point. And considering friends can require maintenance and commitment, opposite sex friends could elicit jealousy among the spouse. And they studied romantic jealousy in the context of their partner's reported platonic friendships. If you're going to have friends, then you're going to have to do something to say, okay, you need to lay down the law and say, look, If you already met these friends, platonic friends, when you were getting together with him, then you got to say to yourself, okay, you got to get to know those friends, especially if you're getting serious. And you should actually have that laid out in front to communicate the fact that, hey, listen, find out about how important this friend is to him, and just find out, were there something that you had together? I think they didn't tell the story here is if there was any romantic intent or any kind of spark that he might have had that never got pursued is the other part. But I can imagine with younger guys and girls that they go with this right here, where it's just more obvious, oh, they can just hang out, with this and that. But that jealousy part, that is toxic for a relationship. I would just tell you, and this is the question too, if it's a woman who obviously, like the other way around, when it's a girl that finds a boyfriend or a girlfriend for that matter, and then you're cut off, that's it. But it's a woman will not do that to a guy. Like a guy won't do that to a girl. It's like just something out of politeness where he's not going to just like shut the girl out, a platonic friend, just because he's in a new relationship. Because he still thinks, well, everything's okay. You can get to meet her, this and that. And we can hang out. So he's probably not even thinking about it. But guys, you have to think about if your partner is going to be jealous. And by the way, this can go for gay, transgender, whatever. You have to think about the fact that if you are the feminine partner and you're worried about your dominant partner's feminine friends, right? You have to worry about that part. The jealousy still applies. I still believe that is the case, whether it's a dominant submissive or if it's a feminine masculine thing, either which way. Another surprising feature they said is that men, not women, were more emotionally upset when their spouse's friend was attractive compared to unattractive, regardless of the sex of the friend. So what they're trying to say there is that men would get more upset when his girlfriend or wife's male friend is more attractive. Because in the case that men may worry the attractive male friend as a potential mate, and an attractive female friend can serve as a wing woman. Get your jealousy in order, folks. If you're going to be in a relationship, all right, that's what we're trying to explain here. If you're going to do it, lay that on in front of you, because you know what? The jealous streak of a woman is just as much as a woman being scorned. It's toxic. It's dangerous to have. So keep an eye out on that. I'm going to leave it there. And just remember, folks, that we are all a little depraved and debaucherous.